they've delivered us so far through the stage 2. The question is, can they stand up tall to what is going to be their toughest test yet in a best of 3 against Wolves?
Sorry I wasn't really there, Tim. I had to go away and get a measuring stick just to try and measure my disappointment in you, and I still couldn't get the right
Honestly, you say one thing about against bananas and grapes, my timeline's lighting up. I've got Ian calling me out. It's ridiculous. I expressed the like for many fruits. Passion fruit, mango, pineapple. Oh, honestly.
But you also said you wouldn't eat an apple.
It's not. I don't dislike them. I just wouldn't choose one. They're just, to me, I think they're just a bit dull. They're just a bit.
Wow, now that is a strong opinion in this day and age,
what have
Tim.
I done?
Apples are dull, everyone. Have you never tried like a pink lady? You ever tried all the different varieties that you can get?
Oh, what have I done? Nothing's ever set my taste buds on fire. What can I say? In the apple world, it's a very good fruit. I enjoy an apple. It's fine, but I'd pick other things first.
I'd just have very little to say to you. Just when you think you know a guy.
Pineapple.
4 years.
Pineapple I can get behind. That's kind of apple. Is it?
It's not, Tim. No. So now you've got strong opinions on fruit you don't even know about. This is disgusting.
Oh,
anyway,
dear.
We're into a game, Tim.
Let's watch this game.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Wolves versus ITB. We're going to kick off on Clubhouse, which I'm actually really glad about. I love Clubhouse. I do enjoy watching it, but I think it's going to be a good one for ITB, if anything, because, again, the question probably comes about, and I wouldn't ask it of Wild this time, but going back to stage 1, Wild had a very good group stage, a little bit of a surprise at times, surprise package like ITB, impressed us, and then obviously got to the best of 3s and struggled a little bit, which most teams will do when they are new teams. It can be, just starts to expose, any sort of lack of depth in map pool and things like that. So I'm interested to see whether this is the case for ITB. We know that Kangaroo Kenny, the coach, has been doing a great job over there, and he said a few times, teams sort of underestimate us, and that's fine by us because we're turning up, we're doing our job, and we're winning. So I'm interested to see. I think they are going to be very well prepared, but Clubhouse, I think, is a good start for them because it's a map that they should know anyway.
Surely not. This is the easiest and oldest trick in the book. That is not good. That's even not gooder. That's Mowgli mowing them down as well. It has not been the dream start, this best of 3, Tim, that I think maybe ITB were hoping for.
I think it's a little bit of sort of welcome to big school, isn't it? You've reached the knockouts against Wolves in a best of 3 now. You're not going to have anything easy, I think, is the reality. I don't think that ITV will be fazed by this start, in all honesty. They've got Kanto, they've got Kendrew, they've got some of the most experienced players. They're going to stick a diffuser down here. They're going to get away with this. I'll tell you now, Kanto's on the cover. Oh, if Kanto wins out that gunfight, maybe he gets away with it. Kendrew, he goes in and finds one. Unable to get any more. That's going to be the end of the round. Wolves will be able to disable that activated diffuser. But I tell you what, Des, if that is a preview of what we can expect over the next 2 to 3 maps, then I think I'm going to have to get the edge of my seat warmed up.
It's always warmed up, Tim. You do kind of have to hang over the edge of your seat when you're sitting normally as well.
Okay, I'll get the back of my seat cooled down then.
That works too. Sure.
There you go.
I am honestly, we haven't really had much chance to talk about this game, obviously, because we were jumping straight into the action. But for me, Wolves, they will be a real challenge for ITB to kind of get past here. Yeah, I mean, Eminem earlier on, that game was a little bit of kind of it was torn down the middle. There were people on either side saying, that team will crush it, that team will crush it, they'll win, they won't, whatever. This one, I think I've seen more people generally leaning in towards Wolves. And it's not to say that ITB can't do this either as well. The guys mentioned Kanto, brilliant stage so far. Noah, blown everyone away. If nothing else, it's Leicester Asa being a little bit quiet overall. There's potential there. I just really worry that if you see Mowgli on the right kind of day, when he's not there, I could see it. But when he is there, as he showed he kind of is in round 1, can you do it? I just think it's a bit of a stretch too far.
I think the other problem is you've picked up there on Kanto, and he's had a very good stage, as has Noah. A little bit of a shaky first game, but after that was very solid. They've both put up good numbers. But what we might find with a team like Wolves, very experienced, some good gunners in there, like you say, Mowgli, P4 particularly, if they can isolate and take out either or of those players, say they can just focus on Kanto, particularly when he's on the defence, whereabouts in the map is he going to be playing, you know, the analysts will have picked up on that. Let's go in numbers, deal with him, get him out of the thing. It puts a lot of pressure on the other. So for example, Noah, it starts putting a lot of pressure on him then if Kanto's not able to put the numbers up because he's under so much pressure. And I think that could be the sort of thing we might see Wolves do.
This one is about as standard as it comes. Garage focus, east side focus, get everything opened up, and then just start to look for a big hit in towards site once you've got control of Garage in the full way that you need it. Really here, Yonka looking to still be alive as well. That kind of spot where you miss a little bit of wall somewhere more in towards the middle, about a quarter of the way in. You can get stung by someone lying down on the other side, although they have to respect the fact there can be someone on the rappel. Either way, for now, Wolves still hold firm. We're only 60 seconds in, but again, you can see the orchestration of this attack coming together. This hit coming in towards Garage and on towards the east platform with one player working their way in from below.
I think it'd be a good thing for ITB to get around sooner rather than later. You know, just get it done, get it on the books, and just make it feel competitive for them, so they don't feel like they're sort of slipping behind. That's a great start from Kanto there. Going to pick up a headshot onto P4, and you know, I just picked him out as one of the you know, the primary gunners for Wolves. What a takedown that's going to be potentially for the rest of the round. Mowgli is going to go out and just try and get aggressive here. He's going to rotate around. There's one inside of Adam. I don't think he knows. No, he doesn't. It's going to be Noah. It's going to be those two players that I mentioned that Wolves were going to have to try and close down, that they were going to have to try and deal with Des. And the honest truth is, here in round two, they've had absolutely no answer to Kanto or Noah so far.
There we go. The total spin of the round as well, given how dominant the first round was for Wolves. Here it's all coming up ITB. They were inside of Adam quite early on and were holding this angle, looking to poke their head down to the basement a little bit as well, looking up towards red stairs. And they've really just struck Mowgli there for goal when he's been trying to find an angle, a way to disrupt and slow down the attack here to give his team a little bit of breathing room. That comes back onto the other side as it does go down. I think the nade's already been used, so it's not quite a great loss for them, but still something offline in terms of the sledge and his gun.
Bibu holding on to Catwalk is a big coup at the minute for Wolves because they can really defend the entire site from there. Shinka manages to get one as well. And in the notes that I was writing up before the game, I picked out Shinka, obviously, as being such a clutch player. And a 1v2, this is absolutely winnable for him. He's going to play it from deep in cash just to prevent that diffuser going down for the time being. But look at the health. Oh, Kendrew with a beautiful peek around the window. I was just voicing that concern of the health that was remaining, both for Noah and for Kendrew. A toxic babe, one breath of it would probably have done the job for Kendrew there, but finds the kill that he needs to, shuts down Shinka, which many before him have failed, let me tell you, in those 1vx situations. But ITB get one on the board, and I think that has come at the perfect time for them. Don't let Wolves get ahead of you. Don't let them get on top. Let them know they're in for a game. Perfect.
Oh, you're back. Never mind. I had no idea what happened then, my man. You went silent.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't know if it was just Discord or the stream as well, but my ears did enjoy the temporary reprieve.
How rude.
That's me, Tim. You're Mr. Positive. I've got to balance things out in the universe a little bit here.
I don't think there should be any issues. I've had a little wiggle of my connections. They all seem good.
You're all fine, mate. Don't worry. You're here. You're here. It's all good.
Excellent news.
1-on-1. Get off to a flying start then, where both teams have had their own little bite at the cherry and got themselves started with the game. Now it's really going to come down to how things develop as we go in towards gym and bedroom, out towards the west side of this top floor. And for me, looking at the lineups coming in for the defenders here once again, Deadshot out on the road as you've seen previously, Mowgli out and busy on this Solus. I think you've already seen him, and as we know him to be, a player that really wants to get out, get busy, take those early gunfights, and really try and disrupt the other side. Ideally, finding one of those hard breaches, Kendrew would be the dream start.
Certainly would be. As you say, just be taking some of that serious utility off the board. There are plenty of options, though. Noah on the ace. They've got Jonko just working at the minute on the Maverick as well to open up this side. Mowgli is supported by Deadshot for the time being. Tell you what, this could be very aggressive here from Mowgli. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is, but if he waits for this wall to drop off and gets very quickly into that breach, and he's not going to get any joy that way, he surely will know that the Maverick is on the opposite side of that. But no, he's going to dip away. I was going to say the opportunity was potentially there. If he knows the Maverick's on the right-hand side of it, as soon as that wall drops, knowing he's heard it be sledged off on the outside, he could literally just run straight out of the breach and shoot to his right. But no, he's not going to get overly aggressive, which I think is a good move. You want, you know, you want one on the scoreboard. You don't have a big cushion to fall back on or anything at this point. I think that's solid play from Wolves.
Alrighty, not a bad start indeed. Here we go, 75 seconds in and already looking to apply some pressure on this east side, but Wolves are not going to give this ground up for free. As you come to expect, they do want to be fighting it out, but if you stay here too long, you do run the risk of being pinched down, and that's exactly why you see the Azami keep a barricade on the planks inside of construction, just to deny that window cutting straight through the middle of the map. Thank you very much, Mr. Observer. And getting that angle straight through towards the top side and basically isolating the players that are stuck on the east side of the map. But Wolves here have waited about 90 seconds. They've chewed through some of the utility and drones, 6 being dead here. And we haven't even seen ITB get anywhere near the site yet.
No, doing a great job at the minute. Mowgli's already had that cheeky play in round 1, and now he's really holding them at bay here. One player sort of holding back the push of 3 or 4 coming through from Cash's side, and ITB just need to be cautious that they don't stall out here. Noah is going to open up that construction wall. I think we might just have heard an impact nade that's going to have taken that off, though. Certainly did. Just looking at Noah. Let me check his card. We've got more Selma charges available, so it's still possible. Another one will be taken down. Mowgli decides it's now time to back off, but with 30 seconds left to go, they're still trying to clear off electricity here, and the Kiba barricade is going to thwart them.
Here we go, straight in underneath, blows the wall out with the nade, and they should be inside now.
Nope.
Still denied a wait. They missed it. I thought the nade got inside.
The nade did get inside. It doesn't seem to have taken out the Kiba barricade. I'm not sure exactly what happened to it. We do have a Jaeger on side, so it's potentially been ADS'd out. We would have to check, but it's all coming down to rushing windows here. ITB do manage to get a couple of kills, but time is ticking by.
Oh my God.
Surely going to run out as the flurry comes in for Wolves. Shinka, Bibu, they lock it down. It's Wolves 2-1.
Lovely stuff. 3 players all down there at the end as well. 4 left alive, but all 3 of them on the deck. Not ideal, and one even jumping straight into the frostmat as well off the back of it. Unfortunate. But this is what happens when you run that clock down so well. Again, 90 seconds was wasted just trying to push through the east side of the map. And it was only really as we got towards the end of things where they were kind of put under a bit of pressure, didn't have a chance to get everything droned out because they'd already lost 6 drones trying to get in the east side of the map. Just really well done by Wolves there, starving ITB of time and of resource, and ultimately netting themselves what seems to be a pretty comfortable 3rd round. Now we go into round 4, though, back down into the basement for Church and Arsenal.
It was, of course, the site of Wolves' first victory in round 1. I don't think they will get away with letting Mowgli sit in the corner of kitchen again. He's going to have to cook up something different this time because ITB will not be falling for that one, I wouldn't have thought. Look at that. The beautiful use of the free cam there, just to be able to really show us where those gadgets are hidden that we might not otherwise have been able to see. Love it.
I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed our trying to jiggle it around in the kitchen of cafe earlier on, trying to view the yokai that was set up in the rafters, kind of bouncing through the floor, then back down again, and then just about getting to the right level. It's going to become a real skill in itself, knowing how far the camera flies when you tap it.
It's the up and down on the sticks for the sort of lateral and horizontal movement. It's nice and smooth, but the height it moves a little bit quick. So you've just got to get used to, as you say, how much of a tap it needs. But our superstar observers, I'm sure, will be all over that. They already are.
Over it.
All over it. Right, we're going to have a push coming towards top floor then. It's going to be ITB going in, trying to clear out those Romos. Kanto, once again, 2nd entry kill in 4 rounds. This time it's going to be Mowgli taken down. He really did hurt them last time with that opener through kitchen, but not getting away with the same this time. ITB settling in well to clearing these maps out. We're going to have Bibu and Deadshot getting forced away across the top floor. They may choose to stick around for a little bit longer yet, but need to be careful they don't overstay their welcome.
Really going for a massive denial on this top floor, aren't they? Two players still up here. There were three originally, but some have dropped away. Everything electrified off towards the west, same out towards the east. Kanto breaking on forward is really giving a lot of ground over towards ITB, and Wolves are going for that same strat as before, where it's just about running the clock down and wasting time. And here, having chewed through half their drones, there wasn't one at the feet of Noah. They paid the price for this one, Tim, and they are now stuck trying to find their way in towards main stairs with half the round gone.
Kanto's got two to contend with here. There's one in Jim. Both have led prone. P4 is going to take down Azza. And the thing is now, Wolves, they don't need to move. They know that they can just sit and watch logistics. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to watch Kanto swing round and absolutely delete Deadshot with a headshot. Absolute beauty from Kanto to level things up at 3v3.
I mean, Deadshot had the angle trained and ready, so Kanto's really outdone him there. Either way, out on that roam, it's 2 for 2 and 2 minutes wasted. I'd still give advantage to Wolves there. Again, you've lost your Solus, not really the end of the world unless you're looking to play Plant Denial, which isn't really the gone-to thing on this site in particular. You haven't got control of Kitchen, for example. It becomes hard to play for. Whereas on the other side, Ace offline, good gun taken away, some hard breach. Not that it matters because we've still got Yonka playing on the Hibana, Queen of Hatches, can get all of these opened up, but it has taken away a lot of the soft destruction in the form of the Buck. So massive win for Wolves, and now there are only 30 seconds to go. It's looking a little bit peachy here for the side of ITB.
25 seconds left to go. As you say, ITB certainly got a lot of work to do. Bibu, P4 particularly just holding angles. P4 it is to pick up Kendrew to begin with, and then comes the drop. Kanto manages to find 1/3 in the round. Can he find himself another? Just misses the feet. Can't quite see the feet of Bibu, who's led prone. He's going to get Jonga nice and free. Gets away with it, and that's going to be the time ticking down. They can't find Kanto, but it doesn't matter, as Wolves hold on, and as you said, all the way through the round days, it just comes down to the time that was wasted. It was well played by Wolves, and they give themselves an advantage. 3-1 now.
It's being really well done by Wolves. I do love how well they're managing the clock here, and committing out on the roam. It's not two isolated roamers doing their own thing. It's two players trying to play together, literally through thick and thin, of really playing on that top floor with their lives and ultimately losing them, but as said, doing enough damage and running that clock down by 2 minutes. Kanto was on one that round, but you can't beat the clock, my friend, I'm afraid. 3-1 to Wolves, back up to Cash and CC. This, I think, is one of the sites where we've actually seen ITB have some success because they've been able to go very direct. They haven't had to go chasing across from east to west on the top floor. They haven't had to full clear the map to hit the basement. Here, it's just get control of Garage, it's get control of east platform, get the wall open, and they're in a spot to start thinking about and execute.
It's keep it simple. As there's sort of tried and tested ways to attack onto this site, and all you need really is those two lines of sight, catwalk and coming in from the platform in front of us now, and that should get the job done for you. P4 is going to be positioned on catwalk. The Azami, always very difficult to shift from up there. No Jaeger this time, but there is the Wamai, and Deadshot is on there, so there will be some protection from any projectiles being thrown in. There's not actually any nades on the side of ITB. Instead, they've opted to bring the Capitao along. So it's going to be Azza's job to deal with catwalk, to get some of those asphyxiation arrows in, just get flames erupting beneath the feet of the Azami and make it too hot for P4 to stay up on the catwalk.
But now, at least, anyway. I think for now, he'll be in a spot where he can still dig in. They've got, obviously, as you say, the Capitao to play behind, lots of things to remove him, but it's all about the time again. This should be a much simpler affair, as we commented on a couple of times. Getting in below, blowing things out with the impact from Kendrew will ideally move the Bandit away. They shouldn't mess this one up too much. He's still sat nice and close, but at least by opening this one up, Yonka should know that it's not safe to play. A couple of times historically, I've seen Zophia's get away with a kill from this spot as well, just popping in these doubles. But I think Yonka, at least where he was aiming a second ago, not quite close enough. And here we go. In he goes with the exothermic. Wall gets opened up. And now they can start thinking about what this execute looks like as soon as they get control of one other direction. Az is in a spot of bother because Deadshot's right behind him as well. Noah's hit the deck. So has Kendrew. Yonka's already out. Az is out. They've been absolutely cleaned out, Tim. Breach opened up, but team destroyed. Wolves with another round in almost no time at all. Blink and you miss it.
Wolves really showing their bites there, just getting themselves locked in, as you say, within about 5 seconds, taking ITB down apart. I guess that's the thing sometimes, with that attack, it's a simple attack and it's an effective attack. That's why, it has existed for as long as it has. It's years old is that attack, but along with it comes a knowledge of where everybody's going to be. If you're a team like Wolves that's got a lot of experience, been playing this game at this level for many years, these players, and so if they say, it's a CCTV wall and garage take, they're going to know roughly where every attacker on the map is at that point. So it's sort of risk and reward, and there wasn't really too much reward there for ITB. I think, to be honest, at 4-1 down, I sort of feel like ITB can feel a little bit hard done to here. I'd say that there's, maybe a 3-2. I feel like there's maybe been a bit more in it for them. They've had some good moments, good passages of play. They've got some good kills. I'm thinking Kanto swinging dead shot when he was watching Logidor, places like that. They've won some really solid fights. So to only have grabbed one round is pretty tough for them. But that being said, Wolves have certainly earned every inch that they've taken as well.
I mean, if nothing else, this game is a really good representation of all the great things about Siege, where you do have the excellent gun skill coming out from ITB, but in seemingly every other area, time management, the roam game, denying information away, all that sits in Wolves' favour, and it doesn't matter how well at least some of the members in ITB are shooting, they're still being absolutely shut down, and I say some quite explicitly, because as you can see on the right side of your screen, Yonka has both 0 and 5 so far, not been able to even get a whiff of this game.
No, that's it. They need to be getting everybody involved here, ITB, and that's what Wolves are going to do particularly well. I know I picked out Noah and Kanto previously, but if Wolves are able to focus and close out even, any two players out of the game in that way, it's going to make it very, very difficult for ITB to get any joy here. And Wolves just showing the real difficulty to get any advantage in gunfights with them. Deadshot is going to be double droned at the top there. One nearly gets away, but that'll be because of the hip fire. He knows that the push might come, so he's just going to adjust his position a little bit, even if just a small amount. There's the first. He's going to be flashed out this time. Just takes the shots, and he's managed to down Kendrew. How about that from Deadshot?
That was I was going to say he's running a real risk by trying to spray in through the flash, expecting Kendrew to swing, and he was absolutely correct. But Deadshot, who was there for assistance, has now fallen down. We're halfway through the round. They've gone through the 3 of the flashes in the back of Kendrew's pocket. We've chewed through half the drones yet again, but at least here, they haven't lost 2 minutes of time. It sounds ridiculous to say. At least they've only lost 90 seconds of a round, Tim.
Just the 90, just half
the casual 90
half of the round. Kanto is going to be opening up logistics hatch. That's going to change things significantly for Wolves, especially when combined with a kill onto Mowgli. It's all falling apart now. Shinka manages to get one, but they're going to need one of those big Shinka moments here. 1 versus 4 becomes 1 versus 3. Cannot become 1 versus 2 as Noah steps in and finds that final kill, and that's going to be ITB taking themselves a 2-4 on the half. Not the end of the world here on Clubhouse as they now move on to the defence, but certainly not an easy hill to climb for them in the second half.
It is not, no. It will give a lot more work still to be done, but again, not going to be, I suppose, either side too disappointed with how that first half played out. Wolves taking 4 rounds on the defence on ITB's map. I think as we saw earlier on today, fundamentally on your own map pick, you should be pretty proficient at attacking on it. And ITB have been really choked out by Wolves there, who looked nothing but comfortable across the majority of those sites. Down to the basement we go once again, with ITB flicking over onto the defensive side. Now, imagine given you've got Yonker on the Azami here, you'll see him out and about getting busy in the map. I'm curious to see if we see Kanto doing the same playing on the Wamai, though, as we always speak about. Both of them recharging gadgets, more value as the round goes by. I think Azami runs out of hers a little bit sooner, so it's far from the end of the world as she does go down. Excellent gun, 3 speed, lots to work on there. But these two I would like to see getting busy and be contesting against the side of Wolves. In the same way that Wolves have wasted so much time across the map, I really feel that we've got to see ITB at least try to do the same.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got to take a leaf out of their book and just, try. They can't play it scared, I think. Like, you get out into the map, take those gunfights, get up in the faces of Wolves and let them know that they're going to have to fight for every inch of the map, because otherwise players like Mowgli, P4 are going to sweep across the map quickly. They're going to take a lot of ground, a lot of map control, and it's going to leave ITB with a lot of holding on to do, which won't be easy. So we're going to see Kanto with a little bit of damage to begin with. I'm not sure if that was an attempt attempted peek. If I knew Cantor, I'd have to guess that it probably was. And that he's taken a shot in return. No damage onto the side of Wolves. And now that's a good position for Wolves to be taking up. It's going to make it very difficult for anybody to rotate back through. Mowgli's going to hold that position. Oh, but what about that for a challenge? Cantor getting really aggressive in bar there, right up in the face. That's what we were asking for. Get up in the face of Wolves. But 3 versus 3 is an absolute slurry of kills comes in the mid-round. We've got Mowgli and Deadshot finding 2 of their own before Mowgli loses his life, and P4 goes as well. 3 versus 3 Wolves with a lot of work to do here, and they've lost the Capitao, which could be a big loss.
That's the big one, right? Whenever you come down to the end of these fights where all things end up equal, 1, look at how much time has been lost. 2, look at how much utility was invested. And 3, look at what utility they then lost as well as a result of those operators dying. And here I mentioned it, I wanted to see Cantor and Yunker getting out and getting busy. They've done exactly what they needed to. They got rid of the Capitao, who was the lifeline essentially for the attack of Wolves in this round. He was their smoke cover. He was the fire to make defenders move, to deny areas away from them. Without him, they simply can't do that. So now you're going back to a little bit of a Hail Mary, let's drop hatches and hope for the very best here. They're going to have to split up to make it work across 2 or 3 different angles, but it's looking a little bit ropey for Wolves already. The one silver lining they've got is they've still got 75 seconds to play with. That is a lot of time to figure this out.
Yeah, that's the main benefit for them at the minute, is the fact that they do not have to rush. Kendrew has got himself wedged in at the back of sight there behind that Kiba barricade. He's going to be very difficult to dislodge. If we have a look, there is still 2 nades on the side of Deadshot, so that is one possibility. Cantor losing his life early means there'll be limited magnet cover on site from the Wamai, so the explosives could really come in clutch if they get the ping, if they get the information, the opportunity to use them. Deadshot does get one out. I think a little bit of information about that double door. It's not going to go far enough though. Sends another one in towards Kendrew, but again, just a little bit weak on the throws, not going to get to where they need to be, and Kendrew is the problem as predicted. Manages to step out and get one, but Shinka is there for the trade. 20 seconds left to go, Des.
Shinka's in, and Bibu's got the cross as well if he can hold this spot properly, and Shinka hasn't exposed himself to an angle. This could be a free plant going down. The long angle's there, finds one up close as well, and they get away with it. Diffuser is down, a 2 versus 1. Azza, 1 and 6. Him and Yonker have had it rough, but he finds one, and there's one more to do. The only battle is this vertical angle. Bibu has been here so many times before, all these years of experience. He should be able to play this one out. Sees the leg and kneecaps the poor guy. Azza's out. Wolves take round 7.
That was really well played from Bibu in a very difficult situation. So, at first instance, it sort of looks like he's missed his shots on the long angle that he's covering Shinka from down towards boxes, but he doesn't. It's because he hears the Kaid on his right. He knows he's being pushed at the same time. So ITB kind of do everything right there. They know that they've got one man, bottom main stairs, who's holding. So they push out there together, move at the same time, and give him too many things to think about. Bibu makes a split-second decision. He takes the Kaid. He knows that's the immediate danger because he's sprayed at the long angle, who's moved past the doorway. Shinka can look after himself at that point, is basically the thought, because Bibu knows if he wins that fight with the Kaid, he gets back upstairs, and that is where you win that round from once the plant has gone down. Get somebody into kitchen, hold on to it, and the round will be yours. Great decision making from Bibu, well played from Wolves. They made certainly the most out of the seconds that they had available to them.
They did, and really, again, it comes down to that time management, right? I spoke about this earlier on. Doesn't matter if ITB are landing some really good shots and a few of their players are on the guns today, but you could say the same about Wolves. Bibu, 9 and 2 currently so far. Shinka, 8 and 4 as well, playing from a much more flex/supportive position. Real work being done by Wolves, and this is the fear that I have for ITB coming into this game, as you are coming up against a very scary Wolves side. Sure, 4 games, best of ones in a group stage will tell you something, but ultimately when it comes down to best of 3s, that's where the difference really gets made. Here we go though in round 8, see if ITB can do anything inside of gym and bedroom, Tim.
That's it, you know, the best of 3s, and, you know, even sometimes the odd best of 5 if you get yourself to a grand final. That's where you really make your money. But like you say, Wolves are really looking impressive so far today, as they have throughout the entire stage. Worth pointing out for everybody, of course, we are in the EUL deciders. We've been past the group stages. Wolves finished second in Group B, second only to BDS. They will go through, if they win this quarter final, whoever wins, whether it be Wolves or Into the Breach, they they will go to play Virtus Pro in the other semi-final. And that gives you a real good opportunity to get yourself through to that major. Once you win today, you've basically got 2 games that you can qualify from. So you play Virtus Pro. If you don't qualify there, you then drop down to the lower bracket final. And if you win that, you qualify. So plenty more opportunity just by winning this game. It's a big one. And Wolves are taking a big step at the minute. Deadshot just absolutely hammers. Knock, knock. He finds Noah and takes him down.
As with the assist from below, I thought they might have seen him on a drone, but it makes a lot more sense that it would have been the Solus getting that read in. And they just knew what the angle was. They knew what he was going for and had the answer ready. Brilliant read by Wolves. A 3-man bit of team play going there as they had the player on the upstairs as well for that extra bit of cover. Just great stuff overall.
Yeah, another good start from them, but how about that? Nice. Kanto's absolutely firing today. He's been doing really well on the entry and then hits an absolute beauty of a headshot through onto Mowgli from the tightest of angles just to level things back up. 4 versus 4. Not the biggest loss for Wolves. Of course, Mowgli is a big loss as a player, but the Ash, not the end of the world. Not going to have any essential utility that they need for this push that's gone missing. So Bibu on the thermite, going to be pushing through into construction. Wolves are getting so aggressive here. They're just not pausing at all. 30 seconds left to go, and like you said, they need to get moving.
That's a great nade coming in towards Secret as well. Just catches out Kendra, who could do nothing from it there. Finds a second as well. He's into a 3 in the round. Can he make it anymore? Yonka hits the deck. Shinka's going to deny the ace away from him, but it's going to be a 4K closeout. Wolves, once they turn it on, they are just impossible to stop, Tim.
And the big problem here is, as you've said it already, Des, this isn't even their map pick. And I think sometimes that's the problem with having your choice of map as something like Clubhouse. I've said this before over the years. I often wonder how much do you gain from that? How much do you benefit from your map pick being Clubhouse? You know, I know we've seen teams like W7 and BDS that have been phenomenal on Clubhouse and nobody wants to play them there. So, of course, they might choose it. But, you know, beyond sort of 2 of the, you know, probably current top teams in the world there, I just don't know how much value there is in something like Clubhouse, whereas, you know, maybe something like M&M have their Chalet, or, you know, teams like that where it's maybe less of a common pick for teams. It's more one of the outlier maps. If you get really good on it and it's your map choice, then yeah, you've got an advantage going in there. Would I expect Wolves to be able to play Clubhouse competently? Of course I would.
I mean, at the end of the day, Wolves, I think that's when we first saw them come together as a team as they are today. And that was after the kind of Vitality era with a couple of changes coming in. And Club was one of the first maps that I remember casting them play. And they were just terrifying. It would be a case like, ironically, I used to think actually it's kind of like a pack of Wolves where they would kind of circle for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, figure things out, collect the information, make sure nothing was getting in their way. Then at the snap of the fingers, every single player would be inside sight. And again, interestingly, it was this exact site, gym and bedroom, where we just saw them completely come in and crush every player that was stood on there. They had no idea what was going on, couldn't tell the left from the right, and Wolves just looked like a terrifying, well-oiled machine. I always think of them on this map, and I always think, yeah, a team that knows what they're doing. And on how they've played it defensively, how aggressively they've been, the time management they've shown, the team play they've used on the attacking side, they are looking on a different level today. Yeah,
they really are. I think the other problem for ITB here is, you know, this is their map pick, and it's not even right? Yeah. It's not even close at the minute. You know, is the thing. Only picking up 2 rounds on your own map pick, it's not to suggest necessarily that Wolves are just going to come out and win this. ITB, I'm sure, will have something to say about it before it's done. But if this is how it ends in a 7-2, and then you've got to go on to the Wolves map pick, it's not. It's just. It's not. We're not even getting into a conversation of it being ideal or not. You know, that's a pretty bad start. It's about as bad as it's going to get for you.
So the march begins. East has been opened up. Great seeing this back in that first half, and not too much effort as well. Shink didn't even really have to get involved there as well. No easy denial coming onto the wall, just easily taken away and marched on through. So that should speed things up at least a little bit here for the side of Wolves.
Just looking at that second map as well, it's going to be Consulate from Wolves.
Anything kind of goes on a map like that, though, I think, given its freshness.
It does. It's more of a roll of the dice, but I always wonder when a team picks it, especially in the best of 3, qualifying game, knockout game, I sort of feel like Wolves are going to be prepped and ready for it. And I just, you know, a new map, maybe going to be too much as Deadshot proves too much once again. Gets up, kill on to Kendrew with the nade. Shinka manages to get Noah. They just can't stop moving. They're absolutely terrifying, Des. It's 4 versus 2 right now. Kanto tries to step up. He tries to do something. He gets himself 2, but meanwhile, Deadshot, he finds himself in a position to get the trade. It's all up to Azza from Catwalk. He's trying to stop the plant going down, but Shinka, he will confirm it. 3 versus 1. This is surely over.
That's exactly what I meant, though, when I spoke about it earlier on. They get set up what they need, they make sure they know what the hit's going to be, and they just march. And nothing will stop the Wolves from feasting on ITB's corpse here on Clubhouse. That means that second map is looking a little bit ropey if you're on the ITB fan wheel.
It certainly is. That was a bit of a speed run from Wolves. It's, you know, we want to see it more competitive than that realistically, and I'm sure, you know, there's going to be a lot of people back in ITB in map 2 wanting to